Language for telephoning. Language for telephoning refers to the traditional category of language forms, for example, grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, and how to use these correctly. The social aspect of telephoning also has to be kept in mind and to be taught to learners. For example, how to socialize on the telephone. In this, you can devise a activity involving you or the learner in which you have to transcribe the conversation and use the transcription as a basis for giving feedback. For example, social telephoning skills would involve inviting somebody to a party or asking their opinion about something, or asking them for information, or telling them that the class times have changed or been cancelled. Besides this, telling stories and jokes on the telephone is also an important way of practicing socio-linguistic skills. Learners listen to recorded anecdotes or jokes from the radio, the internet, or recorded by the tutor or the colleague. Then the students are asked to prepare anecdotes or jokes themselves and then record them and use them as a basis for feedback. Role-playing customers on the phone call is also a very useful activity. You can select different type of letter types from previous letters and use these as a basis for carrying out a conversation between the learner and the tutor. Role plays such as phone calls are also important, in which you or the learner, they transcribe the conversation. Then use the transcription as a basis for giving feedback about any errors in the conversation and any room for improvement. The learners also need to be given practice about the two parallel structures which are involved in every phone call. For example, one structure involves the caller and the other involves the called. So these structures can be broken down into the following building blocks as shown in this screenshot. We can see here that there are two structures. So this screenshot shows the two parallel structures of a typical phone call involving the caller and the called. So in the caller part, we can see that you have to start with the greeting and identifying yourself, request the called party, greet the called party and identify yourself, give reasons for the call, cover main part according to purpose, which is getting information and giving information, etc. Pre-close call, for example, summarize the main points, thank the called, respond to the thanks, etc. and then close the call. In the other structure, that is the called, you have to again identify yourself. The caller has to cover the main parts according to purpose, give information, make arrangement, etc. Then the pre-close calls, for example, confirm the main points, thank the caller, respond to thanks, etc. and then finally close the call. These building blocks give us a starting point in order to carry out practice of how learners need to learn the two structures of telephoning. They provide the steps involved in phone calls, as well as they provide the tutor with a template for carrying out the evaluation of how well the learners have performed.